Hey y'all, I'm gonna make y'all some easy chicken Parmesan sliders with only just a couple ingredients. Hawaiian rolls, pizza sauce, chicken nuggets, mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese, and garlic butter. What we're going to do first is we're gonna take our pan and we're gonna add our Hawaiian rolls to it. Now, on the pan, you can spray this pan with just your non-stick cooking spray, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some melted butter and add half a teaspoon of garlic powder to it. We're gonna pour this over the top of the sliders, but I also want to pour a little bit on the pan instead of using a non-stick cooking spray. So this is 4 tablespoons of butter with a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Okay. So let's take our pan here, but like I said, you could just take you some the spray, the non-stick cooking spray, and add. But I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of garlic butter. Coat that pan. Keep those rolls from sticking. Okay, that should be plenty. Take our rolls here. Okay, let's say you're on a low calorie or keto diet. You can most definitely use keto rolls. I have purchased keto rolls at Walmart and at Aldi's. So you can use some keto dinner rolls. We want to take a knife and cut these rolls in half. What I like to do is to make serving these rolls easier, because once you get all your ingredients on top and then somebody goes to serve one, if you don't cut these in half, into little sections here like this, they're gonna all, you gotta serve one and they all start coming apart. So I actually like to separate them. And I'm gonna take them and rub them in that butter. I know, can you ever have too much butter? No. We need just a little bit of butter down there. Okay, so we're pulling these apart. Because if you take these to church or to a party, and then people go to pull one out, if these aren't separated, they all start pulling on each other. So we're gonna do it like that. Okay, and then here's our tops, which we won't need right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull these tops apart. This is so easy. I mean, what could be easier than buying some dinner rolls, some chicken nuggets, some pizza sauce, and cheese? Okay, so we'll set those to the side for just a minute. Okay, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take some pizza sauce. Now y'all, you can use pizza sauce, spaghetti sauce, marinara sauce. It's basically up to me all the same thing. So it doesn't matter, whatever you have on hand. And of course, we're only going to need about half a cup. So you will want to pour this into a plastic container and freeze the extra for future sliders, okay? Because you're not gonna use but just half a cup, okay? Or let's say you fixed spaghetti one night and you had maybe a fourth a cup, half a cup left over, freeze it, and then you could have sliders, just from that leftover spaghetti sauce. Because spaghetti sauce, marinara sauce, pasta sauce, pizza sauce, any of them will work, okay? I'm gonna take a teaspoon. See, it's not gonna take a whole lot because I'm not gonna just drench these. We're just gonna take, that's really not even a full teaspoon on each slider. Of course, if you're keto, you can find sugar-free sauces. Or you could even add an Alfredo sauce if you made some Alfredo chicken or something and have, a fourth a cup or half a cup left over. You could use that. Okay, see? Barely took any out of it. Yeah, I have the ingredients as a half a cup, but y'all, I don't even know if that's half a cup. Because I usually just take what I have left over. I don't do a lot of measuring, so I'm measuring for y'all. Okay, next we need 12 nuggets. Of course, you're not going to use the whole bag, so you will have some extra nuggets for the kiddos. Or if you're wanting to triple this recipe, if you're taking it to a party, or double or triple it, you will have enough. Because all we need is 12. And these are fully cooked chicken nuggets. Then again, we'll talk about if you're keto or low carb, you could always use chicken. You could use, in the freezer section, there is fully cooked grilled chicken you could use. You could always use a rotisserie chicken. You could use leftover chicken you had from the night before. You could always use canned chicken. Y'all know how much I love canned chicken. Okay, so if you're a keto, change it to Keto Rose, change it to grilled chicken, change your sauce to sugar-free sauce. So, lots of options. Okay. Next, we're going to add the mozzarella cheese. Okay, I have, in my recipe, I've written down a cup, but it just depends on how much you want to add, okay? And a cup would be enough, so I'm just gonna add as much as I want. See, I'm really being generous with the cheese, because my kids like lots of cheese. This is almost easier than the ham and cheese sliders that we make a lot. I think what takes so long for those is you have to fold up the slices of ham and put it on. Okay. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, here's my tops to my sliders. I'm going to add, y'all, I'm gonna add a little bit of sauce underneath here. Not enough to make them, you know, mushy, but just enough to give them some flavor. See, I'm just barely putting any on there. When you're doing this on camera, it's like, okay, it's taking forever, but it's really not taking forever. 3 more. Okay, so there's the last one of that. Okay, what we're going to do next, because we are not finished, this is gonna be the most important part right here, will be the garlic butter and Parmesan cheese on top, okay, y'all? So remember, this was 4 tablespoons of butter and a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And I did put some on the bottom, but you do not have to, okay, of the rows. You can just add it to the top. I wish y'all could smell the garlic butter. Yeah. You really want to get every drop of it. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add our Parmesan cheese. And for presentation, I'm not going to add any, but you could sprinkle some Italian seasoning, okay? Y'all, this is going to be so good. I'm getting cheese everywhere, but that's okay. We'll make sure we get enough. Okay. Want y'all look at those. It's pretty good, huh? Okay, so let's recap. Okay, we had a package of Hawaiian rolls, 12. We had a half a cup of pizza sauce, and remember, you're gonna freeze the rest of that pizza sauce because it's 14-ounce jar. We had 12 nuggets, chicken nuggets, and remember, you can always use grilled chicken or a rotisserie chicken or canned chicken. You could even brown you some ground beef or use meatballs, okay? If you wanted to use the fully cooked meatballs, those are some options. On the pizza sauce, you can always use an Alfredo sauce if you don't want to use pizza sauce. Okay, so then we did a cup of mozzarella cheese. Our garlic butter was 4 tablespoons and a half a teaspoon of garlic butter, and then maybe an 1/8 of a cup of Parmesan cheese. And remember, you can also replace your roes with keto roes. So I'm gonna put these in a 350-degree oven, and we will see what they taste like in a little bit.